After trying nearly every single supplement under the sun and analyzing hundreds of client blood works, here's the truth. You don't need 30 different supplements. Most people can actually solve 90% of their issues with a handful of essentials. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today, and I'm going to break them down for you. Before we dive in, I think this is a very good representation of what we're trying to do here. We want to implement the supplements that are going to give us the most amount of leverage possible. Yes, there's a lot of good supplements out there that has an impact, but we want to be focusing on the ones that has the biggest impact always. Another thing before we dive in is this. Modern problems requires modern solutions. Of course, you'd be better off getting all of these things in their natural form from food, not in a supplement form, right? But we live in a world of depleted soils, processed foods, constant stress, and toxic exposure. That's why supplements matter, because they restore what modern life takes away. And if you want to start somewhere, it should be with these three categories that we're going to be covering today: hormones, mitochondria, and sleep. This is also going to be exactly the supplement protocol that I put my client Sam on. And the results were the following. Vitamin D levels, we started working with each other 1st of February. So it was exactly 60 days of implementation between these two tests, or between the results. Vitamin D went from 28.1 nanograms per milliliter to 85.4. Testosterone went from 681 nanograms per deciliter all the way up to 900, with still a lot of room for improvement with bringing down his SHBG. That is going to free up a lot of his free testosterone, but that's something we're going to be covering here in a sec. So once again, we want to be focusing this and structuring this in a way, or in a 3-pillar way: hormones, mitochondria, sleep. The areas that are going to give us the biggest and most leverage. So let's start with hormones. Hormones are the foundation of vitality. If your hormones are off, you'll feel flat no matter how clean you eat or how hard you train. And the two supplements that really stands out here is number one, boron. Most people today have elevated SHBG, a protein that binds up testosterone and makes it unavailable to your body. So supplementing with boron helps you lower SHBG, freeing up more usable testosterone. So this translates into energy, strength, drive, and libido. Number two, vitamin D3. This isn't really a vitamin, it's a pro-hormone. Vitamin D is essential for testosterone production, immune defense, mood regulation, and bone health. But here's the problem. Most people spend their days indoor, behind glass, under artificial light. And if you're not getting strong sun exposure year round, you're almost guaranteed to be deficient. I even have clients that lives in very tropical climates and environments close to the equator that still has low vitamin D levels, despite them being outside a lot, being outside in the sun. And that's also for another reason. It's this. When we are exposing our body to the sun, yes, we're getting vitamin D through that, but the vitamin D actually sits on our skin before it gets absorbed to the skin subdermally. So you're not just, okay, I'm taking a look at the sun now, I'm getting the D3, it's going to be absorbed right in. No, it can sit for your skin up to or between 24 to 48 hours before it actually gets absorbed. So if you're outside in the sun all day, but then you come home and you shower and you use some chemical soup to clean your body, you're washing off a lot of that vitamin D that you were just exposed to, which in return does it so that you're actually not absorbing a lot of that vitamin D even though you're out in the sun. So this is not just for people living in Nordic climates. It can be it's as important for someone that lives closer to the equator, because sun exposure doesn't always equal high levels in your blood. What happens if you don't supplement with this and focus on your hormones? Well, if your SHBG stays elevated, you're gonna have your testosterone is gonna be locked away. It says it's like putting handcuffs on your testosterone. Yeah, you might have a lot of testosterone in your body, but can you actually use it? Vitamin D deficiency leads to low testosterone, poor immunity, fragile bones, brain fog, and depression. So you end up tired, unmotivated, weaker, with declining resilience and vitality every single day. Modern life lowers hormones. Supplementation bring them back online. Let's move on to pillar number 2, mitochondria. Your mitochondria are your engines. They take the food you eat and convert into ATP, which is the pure form of energy. Without strong mitochondria, you can eat perfectly and still feel tired. So the essentials here are the following. Number 1, coenzyme Q10, a critical molecule in the electron transport chain. Without coenzyme Q10, your mitochondria can't effectively turn fuel into ATP. The richest food source is organ meats, but most people don't eat these anymore. So supplementation fills that gap. Number 2, thiamine. Absolutely necessary for carbohydrate metabolism. Without it, carbs back up in your system and cause fatigue instead of fueling energy. Alcohol, sugar, and stress completely depletes your body of thiamine very rapidly. So if you've ever felt sluggish after a carbohydrate meal, you feel like you're getting a crash after lunch, low levels of B1 or thiamine in your body can absolutely be the reason behind that. Number 3, taurine. This is an amino acid that stabilizes mitochondria, reduces oxidative stress, and supports the heart, brain, and nervous system. Stress, toxins, and EMF exposure all increases oxidative damage, making taurine more important than ever. Taurine might be one of these things that has got a bad rep just because that's one of the things that Red Bull always used or to brag about in their drinks. Oh, we have taurine or in it. So I think it's got a bit of a bad rep from there, but it's absolutely necessary for most people. So what happens if we don't support our mitochondria? Well, the food that we're eating doesn't fully convert to energy, which means that you're going to be left with constant fatigue. Even if you eat clean, you're going to get crashes, you're going to have unstable energy levels, and you're going to experience brain fog and poor recovery after training as well, because the food isn't being pushed towards the right places. Inflammation will also start build up, accelerating aging and chronic disease risks. So you're basically going to be running your life on half-empty batteries. So modern stress breaks your mitochondria and modern toxins as well. Supplementation keeps them firing. Last pillar. Pillar number 3, sleep. Sleep is where your body heals. It's when testosterone and growth hormone are released, when the brain detoxes, and when you recover from the day's stress. So without quality sleep, every other system in your body will fall apart. The 3 supplements here, the 3 most important ones, are number 1, magnesium glycinate. This is going to calm your nervous system, relax your muscle, and makes it easier to drop into a deeper restorative sleep. Modern soil depletion means magnesium in food is far lower than it used to be. Number 2, glycine. Glycine will help lower your core body temperature, helping you fall asleep faster and stay in deep restorative stages longer. It also supports detox pathways and collagen production. Last one, L-theanine. The amino acid from green tea. It smooths out stress, lowers racing thoughts, and helps your brain switch off at night so you can actually sleep instead of just lying in your bed. What happens if we don't optimize for our sleep? Well, you're going to stay wired, restless, which means poor melatonin release. Shallow sleep means less testosterone and growth hormone at night. Cortisol remains elevated, which means that fat loss stalls, muscle recovery slows down, and your mood is going to worsen. You wake up tired no matter how many hours you spent in bed. This is a usual problem. A lot of people know, oh, I'm sleeping 7 or 8 hours. Okay, but how much of that is actually being spent in restorative stages in deep and REM sleep, right? And most people have no clue. So it's more important to optimize. That's what I'm always doing with everyone that I'm working with as well. We optimize for quality rather than quantity, because the quantity tells us nothing. It's the quality of the sleep that actually matters. So modern light, stress, and dopamine wrecks sleep. Supplementation helps us restore deep recovery. That's the pillars. So the big picture. Here's the reality. Soil depletion strips minerals like magnesium and boron from our food. Indoor living robs us of vitamin D. And even if we're outside, you might not get all that D absorbed. Modern stress and toxins burn through B vitamins, coenzyme Q10, and taurine. Artificial light wrecked melatonin and nervous system balance. Modern problems requires modern solutions. That's why supplementation is no longer a luxury. It's almost a necessity. When you support your hormones, mitochondria, and sleep, you're not just taking supplements. You're restoring the biological foundations that modern life has stripped away from us. So forget chasing, trendy supplements. You don't need 30 different ones. These are going to cover, as I said, 80 to 90% of your problems, and also the things that you are missing, and give you the most leverage. Once again, that's the most important thing. There is a lot of other supplements that I think is good, but we want to be focusing on the ones that are going to give us the most leverage, because everyone doesn't want to take 50 pills every single day as well. That would be my worst nightmare, at least. So the Brian Johnson approach, taking, I don't even know how many pills he's taking on a daily basis, but that would be my worst nightmare, right? Once again, of course, we want to get this in its natural form always before we would want to supplement it. But the hard truth is that that's almost, or it is impossible in our life today, which with things as soil degradation and our food in general being worse and worse quality. If you want my full supplement protocol that I'm giving all my clients, what you can do is send me a message or a DM on Instagram and just ask for that, and I'm gonna send you over that. That's a bit more of an in-depth list with, I think it's a total of 15 supplements. So a couple extras, but I guarantee you, if you implement these into your routine, this is one of the best starts you can get supplement wise. You don't need more than this. These are the ones that are going to give you the biggest leverage, the most bang for your buck. But if you want to take it to the next level, shoot me a DM and I'll send you over that. If you want my personal help to get you into the best shape of your life as well, to get you to perform as good as you've ever done, get you as vital as possible, as healthy as possible, then you can also book in a call in the link below, and we'll go through a little call, see if we're a good fit to work with each other. I'll present how my program, my health and vitality program works, and we'll take it from there. Hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, send me a DM if you want the full supplement list, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.